Hello, hello, welcome to Piece of Pat Paints. I'm Pat. It's Alistair. He's leaving. You're not leaving. You're not leaving. Kristen's back there too. Here comes Aowen. I have almost all my family here. Some of them are at camp. The other one's in the other room. He's not that interested. So that's not something we really needed to put out on the internet. But thank you, Aowen, for telling the entire world that Kel is taking a dump. So. Welcome to Pieces of Pat Paints. We actually paint things here, is what we really do. We don't bag on people all the time.
I'm sorry.
So anyway, woo! So this goes up here. Alistair was very concerned with what everything does. So we're just going to get right into it. We'll kind of talk about stuff in a minute. So that right there triggers this. It turns on all that, and it turns on the music. So now there's music playing in the background. See?
No.
Right here?
Right,
that's music. So if you were watching me on here, anytime it was quiet, it wouldn't be completely quiet because there would be background music. That way, there's not dead air. Because you know what you want to avoid when we're doing this is dead air. So anyway, are you guys hanging out here the whole time or?
Oh, just hang out until I want to leave.
Oh, okay. All right, so I went and bought some new brushes, everybody, because we've been beating the hell out of the last brushes we had. It lasted a little while. It got a lot of work done. We go through brushes you're gonna go through brushes. Not a lot, but if you're using them pretty consistently, they do break down. That's just how they go. I went and bought these at Michael's, so they're not as expensive as say normal hobby brushes. I just wanted to kind of we're gonna blow through these guys probably. But this is good alternative. If you don't want to go and spend like $20-30 on a brush, you can go and buy these from Michael's. I think these are their actual like in-store brand. Artist Loft, I believe, is Michael's brand. So, yeah, and this is their professional line. We've got the little green pieces here. They're a little bit more expensive than the other ones. They're not quite as durable, and I believe, if I'm right, these are actually made out of sable, which is great. Okay, bye, bud. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah.
So sable is a pretty decent material. It's not quite, it's not like using Kolinsky sables, but you're wanting a sable brush. It's not, that's what you want. It's got a nice feel. This tip's gonna have to be wet before I mess with it. I don't want to bust it up. But this one that's free feels great. So I bought a 2 and a 0. So this will be a little bit smaller brushes. This one's going to be more for major work. This will be more for detail work. Our detail brushes are actually still in pretty good shape. But I thought I'd buy one of each just so we can kind of, see how they work. Anyway, that's the fun thing kind of about this channel. We get to do whatever we want. And so, a little brush review. Oh, my goodness. People like to put their things back in these sleeves, but I'll tell you what I've noticed from years of doing this. I damage my brushes more trying to put them back in these sleeves than I do if I just put them in a box and keep them from like sliding around too much and bashing their tips. I get it. If that's what you want to keep doing with yourself, go for it. But to me, these are going in my bit box for some sort of hodgepodge creation down the road. that's a personal preference. You really do what you feel like you want to do. Anyway, lovely Miss Kristen's over here working on fairy tale coloring stuff. Hopefully, if the cat will let you. The cat will let you. Alright, let's get that wax off there. They always put, I swear they put like some sort of wax or something in the water when they put those sharp tips on, so that they'll still hold that tip.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it's just something that I feel like they do. All right, so let's give this guy a whirl. People yell it's a little crusty, but it's again, keep yourself a nice wet brush. Most of your acrylics, you keep it on a wet palette, you keep your palette pretty wet. They'll hold for a while. I'll tell you what, the weight of this is pretty nice. It's got a good feel to it. The fold is long, which is, I kind of like long folds. That's the metal piece here. Not everybody does though. I know several friends, painter friends of mine, that prefer shorter ones. This one's pretty long, so if you look in comparison to that guy, but even it's as long as this bigger brush. Maybe not quite. So this bigger brush got a longer fold, but see that other one's got more like the size of this 0, and these are closer to the same size brush in theory. Although I tell you what, you start getting into brushes from like Army Painter, because they don't label their brushes with the numbers. They label them as War Gamer Regimental Brush. So I honestly don't know what size that brush actually is. Without looking it up, I'd have to look that up. But, that Army Painter brush, I think it's like $12. I bought both these brushes for $12. I think it was less than that, actually. And it's not bad. It's holding pigment good. Nice spread. It's got a pretty resilient tip. You can feel it when you push too hard, which is good. Just definitely time for something just a little sharper edged. That other one was losing it. The tip had kind of lost its edge. And kind of like a pencil that you have to sharpen. You can do some treatments and stuff like that. I have a brush soap that I clean my brushes with and stuff. And that helps them go for a while. But if you're going to be using brushes constantly, they're just going to wear out. And I'll tell you what, painting on a canvas doesn't wear them out nearly as fast as painting on a miniature. The rough surfaces and stuff like that just tear up brushes. This guy's still trying to free out some of that wax in there. I swear it's in there. Just a piece of fuzz from all the flocking that's still on everything on this bench. Get the flock out of here. No coloring for you?
I got one of my hands free so I can drink my drink now.
Hey, one step at a time. Drinking the drink. See, that's the cool thing. If we get another camera, I can honestly get a camera that sets up for look at your coloring while you're working. Well, I could see that sort of thing.
Well, then the golden cat,
right? I mean, right now, no, of course not.
She's looking at me very offended that I might consider doing anything else.
That cat is full, Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. Put a little bit more green right there. We'll have to come through and do a little bit of work on some of these colors on their flesh, but we got the base, like I said, we got the base coats in, so we can come back and pick out all the other stuff. Which is kind of what we're trying to do here too. Because this one will get a little bit of a nice thin red wash to get it to come all the way out. I felt like the idea of making them all look like they were on a coral would be fun. And then the vividness of the color against each other just worked out so well. And then we can also keep all these other shells kind of a bone color, and it really just lends to it. When it's all said and done, it kind of looks like they're wearing like life preservers and stuff. It's really funny. But they somehow still look intimidating. It's like mutant lifeguards coming to kill you for a while. Kind of want to do one. Just have done. Really under the gun here, trying to race and getting all of these figures done before we go to vacation. But I also like to make sure that you guys get to see everything I'm doing. It kind of, to me, there's some authenticity there. Like, you know for a fact my paintings come out the way they come out because you've watched every single stroke. Well, I mean, on some of them at least. Maybe not all my paintings. A good deal. Oh man, I'm liking this brush. It's not over picking up paint. Got a great little tip. It's really stiff. But not too stiff. And again, it's new, so we'll see. Well, we'll give it like a week or two of bashing it on these miniatures, and we'll see how it turns out in the end.
Well, that's one thing I've learned with art supplies too. There are the various price points and qualities, but then there's also what you like to work with.
Yes.
There's that personal preference part of it too. That sometimes if you like the way a certain thing works, you're gonna like the cheaper ones because that's how they work.
Yeah, I mean, there's even artists that make art out of junk. So the art material is definitely an opinion thing. It's based on what you want it to do. So you should definitely always check on things. And this is, again, these are more they're probably designed for canvases, and whereas something from another kind of company is going to be developed maybe more for miniatures. So we'll see. But you know, Calency sable brushes are designed for canvases too. So I feel like we could probably get away with these better brushes. And I have bought these cheaper brushes before. and use them. I kind of like Michael's stuff. I mean, I've even bought stuff from, say, Walmart in a pinch or something like that because I needed a brush and I was out somewhere or whatever. Or I wanted to get a brush that I could tear up, or I'm painting with the kids and they say that their brushes can't do the things that I do that my brushes can do, and I prove them wrong because that's not true. You can't blame your tools. You have to actually have a little bit of skills. If you don't have any skills, then it doesn't matter what your tools are. You can buy the best equipment in the world. If you don't know how to make the building in the first place, you're going to create a lean-to that's going to fall apart when you try to get in. You don't know what you're doing. It's why people like more simple things sometimes to create, like when they're creating stuff. You know, if you're gonna go to, say, like a paint palette thing, a lot of those people are just gonna they like that idea of following along and adding their own little embellishments to it. Because creating an idea and an image completely out of whole cloth is a lot more difficult. Especially if you're not super familiar with how the art products themselves work. So, like, if you know, a lot of painters that paint miniatures, if they don't freehand because they don't have they don't have the more traditional art background that allows them to understand how to do that. So they'll watch.
I totally feel that. That one coloring of mine that needed something drawn into it. I had that you do.
Yeah. So, like, but there's a lot of us out there that do. Hello, it's Flying Arrow Magnetics. Hey, Pat, wanted to stop by for a moment before I start working on my real estate class for today. Hey, real estate, get you some, Jared. I love it, brother. So, yeah, man. Hey, it's good to see you. Hope everything is going well for you. We're moving and improving. I started, I don't know if you're still listening, but I don't check that stuff as much as I should. I need a producer, I swear to God. Anyway, yeah, we started doing some shows and stuff like that, and selling stuff on. I've got an Etsy shop I'm trying to get populated, but it's the end of the year season here with my children, so you know they keep me super busy. I've been to, like, I don't think I've had a weekend where we didn't have some sort of child event. Except even.
Well, and the whole last 2 weeks have been award ceremonies at school.
Right.
During the week.
Yeah. Which is good. I mean, I'm not complaining.
Right.
I love it.
And then all weekend is their activities. So.
Yeah, it does make it to where it takes away from getting things done that I need to get done.
It's time consuming.
Yeah. Well, and then we got vacation coming up. That's gonna be crazy. We won't be too much interruption. Doing okay. Was in the hospital for about a week. Getting ready for the baby to be here. Big baby time. Yeah, that's all you can do, man. Just keep one foot in front of the other and don't stress the small stuff. And congratulations on the baby. It's amazing. You're gonna love having kids all over the place. You need like 20 of them. I say that, and I'm pretty sure that I can name whiskers in my beard that are for my children. Yeah, things have been so crazy down here. I got off Facebook a while back. I'm back on there right now because I gotta try to figure out how to get. Oh, now I did see why. I'm gonna use this guy since we've already kind of beat this regimental up. I'm gonna use him for our net. And it's got a little bit of I believe like a leather tag on it. At least that's how I painted it last time. You can just see how much more moisture this brush holds. is definitely, there's definitely going to be places where a brush like this is going to be better for miniature, because it just holds a lot more water, which isn't necessarily great for detail work. So it's going to be nice to have that number 2 in. That artist loft number 2. Man, that's super exciting. Hey, do you guys know if it's a boy or a girl yet? I haven't actually looked, so I knew you guys were having one, but I forgot. I don't know if I saw whether or not it was a boy or a girl. Or if you even know. Like, some people don't want to know. I always wanted to know so I can start buying things. And more because of the girl, like it's easier to buy. It's a girl named Aspen Rose. Kristen says it's beautiful. If the mic didn't pick that up, the new mic picks up a lot more. So sometimes I'm like, oh, you can't hear that, and then I listen back and I'm like, oh my god, you can hear that.
I also feel like I'm talking through allergy in here, so
Right.
Not very funny.
Yeah, the mold is probably up today. Down here, lots of rain down here. Luckily, I don't think we got any tornadoes, just some flash flooding. I'll skip tornadoes for flash flooding every time.
Absolutely. Well, the water is much easier to avoid.
All of our kids are named after trees. Yeah. You guys do have a thing for naming trees.
I can't talk my kids leafy green.
Yeah, well, it's all, yeah. I just know, I know I kind of miss babies too, but I'm also way too old for that stuff. But it's always nice to have it. I always love it when they come in. It's always nice when you have babies. But it's gonna be nice to have grandbabies, because then we can just give them away. Trees and plants, yeah. Flowers and trees. I totally got what you're saying. You do have a very druidic kind of family names. Yeah. It's like a whole family of druids up there with Jerry. Oh snap! That snake skin is big as hell. I mean, like I saw it when y'all brought it in. We found a snake skin down under the house. Well, they found a snake skin down under the house. Is it super delicate?
No.
No. All right, check this out. I have a little interlude. Now that's a big old snake, y'all. That was a big one. For a rat snake, because it's just a little rat. It's just a rat snake. It isn't. It's not anything poisonous. It's even got its head still intact.
It does. That's
That's pretty rare. You can see the eye sockets in it.
Yep.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
That's what I was so impressed by, because he was able to shed it all underneath the house like that. It's been protected from weather and stuff.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
But no, what he crawled across to shed it on, it was stuck to it pretty good. I had to
that's what we
peel it
thought.
off, and it held together. So
It's pretty nuts. Yeah, Jared says he thinks so. That's huge of the snakes. So he says, yeah, rat or small king snake.
Yeah, we have a ton of rat snakes out here, so I just assumed.
Yeah, we got like a little forest area, and it's full of rat snakes. So, but yeah, it's one of the reasons why the guys that have chickens over there on the other side, they've got a lot of stuff set up to keep the snakes out. Because there's a, ooh, I can't believe they let those over there on the other side of the circle. There's a group of guys that let their chickens just run wild. And we have guinea fowl that live out here. Every now and again you see them.
They lived out here my whole life. They probably learned through generations.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we've got a whole mess of king snakes and rat snakes and all that sort of stuff out here.
And even little grass snakes, you don't see them as much, but they're out here.
Oh yeah, the little tiny
the little green ones.
cricket snakes or whatever. Yeah, the little itty bitty guys.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like seeing them. They're fun. We even get those little lizards, the little newts,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. They're not newts. They're skinks. It's fun. The wildlife out here is a blast. Last night it was raining. I was hurting so dang bad last night. I couldn't hardly do anything but sit and listen to the rain and the frogs croak. But it was awesome. It was very calming, and I definitely needed some calming. It was a heck of a day. I had to drive all the way to the Arbuckles to drop off my oldest son for camp because he is a staff member at a cab class and he teaches projectile weapons. So throwing axes, throwing knives, bows and arrows, and guns, and that sort of stuff. He loved it. See, I'm in the city. The most I see without traveling out in the country is an occasional deer. Yeah. yeah, I remember that. I definitely don't miss the city anymore. I did for a little while, but it didn't take long for me to be like, nope, good. I get enough of that driving Uber. Which, hello to anybody that is following the channel because of the Uber stuff. Really appreciate you. That's pretty awesome. Best tip you could ever get. And here I am painting. You can't see what I'm doing again because I showed off that snake and I did not change
the camera.
Again, producer. We need a producer. Anybody wants to be a producer for free, holler. I don't know why you would do that, but maybe you want to. What if I did something? Oh well. Something's off. I don't know. Looks like it's cutting the top of my head off now, but oh well.
You don't need the top of your head, do you?
I mean, it's not actually. It just. I'm just being prissy. Scrub these bases down. And again, like I said, it's good to keep brushes like these older beaters, things that you kind of torn up a little bit, for these rougher kind of deals where you're really gonna work it rough, and then save your newer brushes as your detail pieces and stuff like that. At least that's my advice. It helps your newer brushes last longer, and it gets a little bit of extra life out of the brushes that are starting to wear their a little bit of their tip, maybe. With the prices of everything, it kind of seems like a good idea to at least be a frugal in what you're doing, so that you can spend the money in the important places. Brushes, you need brushes, but you can also, like I said, you can extend the life of them by, good soap, clean them every now and again. I try to clean mine at least twice a week. It doesn't always happen, but I try. I know some people clean theirs like after every session, and that's probably what you should do. Probably ideal. Right now, I really kind of like the idea of tearing them up a little bit and kind of like every now and again cleaning them so that we can put them through paces of what a normal war game painter would do, like a normal D&D guy.
To expect everybody to wash them after every single use.
It's not reality. That's not reality. So that's those folks that are a little bit more, detail oriented, they're gonna be that way, but not everybody's that way, and that's okay. And so, like, I feel like it's a good idea to run these things through some paces. I almost want to like, as if this channel ever like gets crazy, buy 2 of each kind and like take care of one, and then really just wreck another, just to see where they're limited. You know, hey, if you really take good care of them, they'll last this long. And if you are not the kind of person that takes care of brushes, it will last this long.
Well, I know from having children using brushes that you can get exactly 1 use out of a brush if you decide to just leave it sitting in water when you're done with it.
That is true. It's gonna get about 1 use. Naturally. Kids.
They taught me. Come back 24 hours later to a brush that's just been sitting in water. It's not a good thing.
Yikes.
That's why we buy the Walmart one, huh, babe?
For the kids? Yep. That's why I buy the Walmart ones. They're for the children to use. Although I think Kel is finally up to the next size brush. Or the next stage brush.
He's passing the water already.
Yes. I think I've given him a few decent brushes over there. But he still doesn't have quite enough patience to sit down and paint for a long period of time. This is definitely something that takes a lot of patience. Because it's not gonna pop right out. It's not gonna be done. It's not gonna look the way, you know, the really great miniatures look if you just paint it and then leave it and that's all you did to it.
Sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to it. And I feel like sometimes the kids get frustrated with them because they see all the stuff I've painted and they want to paint it, and then they go try painting it. It's not like that.
Yeah.
And so they get discouraged. So I try to keep them encouraged. I'm trying to tell them that they're too much about what to do. But it's just a little like, hey, you can do this, and you can get it to look like this.
I know you taught me a lot of technique when I was trying to paint my character I was playing.
Yeah.
I'm not that much into painting miniatures for fun. If it's somebody I'm gonna play. That's about it.
Right. Yeah, sure, you're gonna be using.
Right.
Which I feel like that's probably a majority of your painters, really. The majority of players, I should say, in a Dungeons and Dragons situation. They wouldn't mind painting their own thing and being like, yay, I painted this.
Yeah.
You know.
That's my PC. I painted it.
Right. They're not looking to paint whole armies. That's more like this Wargamer guys.
Yeah.
And even some of those folks, they don't want to paint the whole thing.
I remember when you just had me paint a bunch of little spiders we were gonna fight. I was like, there's so many of them. Like, if that's overwhelming, painting an army is definitely a bad idea.
Yeah, there's a lot to painting those armies. It's a lot of work. That is for sure. Usually a pretty decent coat. Don't let it pool too much. With all these nooks and crannies, it's really easy for it to kind of want to pool up in somewhere. I want to avoid that. So just kind of work around it. I went right back to using this damn army paintbrush. It's a little bit easier on these base coats. Here, I'm not so worried about rubbing it and getting it all roughed up. Like I said, that's one of the reasons you need to keep your older brushes. Not everything is detail work.
Okay.
What?
Oh, just some dude riding his tractor down the street.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, we do live in the country. I mean, for a tractor. Yeah, I thought it was recycling.
Right. No, that's not looking.
Right. In the corner. Still, those hooks are fun. Oh, almost 4 down. 3 left to go. See that? See in there in that little tight spot. It's just a little too tight. Just gonna pull this guy out. Alright, hand stretch break. We got 3 more to go. Yeah. My hope is today, we got a bunch of stuff to do today, but I'm hoping today get some photos done, get some more stuff up on our Etsy, and get the printer running and start getting prints made. We're already behind on, because we have a new May drop from Artisan Guild, so we'll have to do that, and then once I get those knocked out, then we'll, I guess actually I should probably do June so we can just stay caught up. We'll do June and then we'll back up and do May's drop, and then that way when July runs around we're caught up with all the newer stuff, and then I guess we'll just start painting some other things. I feel like I almost feel like just becoming an official Artisan Guild painter. Just keep painting an Artisan Guild miniatures. But we might throw some other stuff in here and there just for fun. Because we also have that Batmobile to do. Batmobile is super cool. For those of you guys who missed that thing, we have, like, and this is an old Batmobile, like the Michael Keaton Batmobile. I think that model kit is from 1989. We were 5. That's crazy. Box model's like 40 years old. It's crazy. Crazy. Crazy for painting these minis. going crazy. I don't know why I don't use this handle. I really should. Just make it easier. Especially on these bases. Golly, that's easier. I've spent years without one, so I think that's why, you know, you kind of have to, if you get a new tool that you're not used to using, you kind of have to start really forcing yourself to get used to having it on person and making it work all the time. But I've gotten where really, for the little guys, these little miniature handles are very helpful. And I can see why people would want to put them on like multiple handles and be able to trade them in and out when they need. Again, we're just trying to get in a lot of these base colors. We're just trying to put color on them. There's a whole mess of stuff we got to do after this to finish these up. I want a wetter paint because I want it to sink into those holes to give us a back note for what we're going to do afterwards. Because we'll put a little bit of a wash on this to give it some color depth. In order to do that, you gotta have it thin enough to get into the holes. Holy moly, you're here without a cap. Just had to get it from work around to get that, I guess. Probably not. Unless you got lucky and she found a place to nap.
Right.
Oh, that's fun. That one actually has a little shell in the net. I wonder if they all do, and I've just missed that. I just missed it. Well, the other one, to be fair, the first net I put on there, when I originally painted them, it was in a tighter spot, so I probably didn't notice it. Whew. Cold legs. Cruising right along. Those little crevices. If it gets too sharp, too tight, I'll move to the other brush. For right now, we'll do just fine. That's much a little tight, but it's alright. It's not tight enough, no, the way that you need to change. And down in there, maybe. Those claws. I can't remember if I did those claws. Here, let me look at them. They're in the other. They're in the other room, but I'll throw them where I did them. See, that'd be a good deal. Oh my! They wore me out. All that running around. We were supposed to get some tables on Saturday, but that didn't work out. So we spent an hour driving out to Wellston for no reason. Just a side note there. If you're gonna sell stuff on Facebook Marketplace, make sure that you do in fact like keep track of what and who you've sold things to, so that when people like are still coming to pick up things that they anticipate they're getting, you can maybe tell them, hey, don't bother, because I already sold it. Just as a thought, really. Yeah, do with that whatever you want, I guess. Yeah. Did he hijack her tablet because his is not charged? Is that what I just heard?
I don't know if it's the tablet itself or the charger. They just swapped. Charger. It's the charger. It's always the charger.
Yeah, she keeps track of hers though. They don't keep track of theirs. Okay, well, somebody's gonna need to step in because he's gonna hard rush her up. And you can shoo the cat off too for just a second.
The cat wasn't on me. I was told.
Oh, she's just going with you.
Yeah.
least he was doing the right thing. At least he was doing the right thing.
She just wasn't content within a minute. That was good enough.
Right, that's why I was like, man, something's going on in there. And we need to... It sounds like a adult needs to get in there and suss this out, because...
Well, in a minute it's gonna happen. You know, when you're borrowing something from somebody. Sheesh.
Right. I knew something was amiss. I just didn't know exactly what it was. Like, this is sounding like escalation. Yeah, I'll tell you what, you can Zenithal highlight all day long. There's some things that he said about some washes and stuff. The highlights help, but it definitely is not the end-all be-all of it all. You can't just rely on your Zenithaling and then think that's going to produce the, you know, award-style quality stuff. That's not how it works. Not that I'm to that level or anything, but just something I've noticed. You want that Zenithaling, but you want to be able to also use a bunch of other techniques. It's like airbrushing. You know, you can airbrush some things, but you can't airbrush everything. Airbrush won't do it all. Purring from over here.
Is he very happy? He loves me very much.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Oh. One more to go.
I'll eat this fish.
Well, most fish are like white and phthalo blue, phthalo gray. Not phthalo gray, but Payne's gray. Maybe some greens and stuff like that. But most fish are like silvery in color and the black top, or darkened top. And that's for to keep the top level predators from seeing.
There's definitely a pufferfish in here. I'm looking at real pufferfish, and they are not very colorful.
No, pufferfish are like yellow.
White.
Yeah.
White with brown on top, what we said.
The white on the bottom is so that the predators underneath can't see them. It's the same reason we paint aircrafts the same way we used to.
It's just interesting to color fish that are supposed to be underwater whenever fish that are truly underwater are doing their best to blend in with the water.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to kind of like... They're either trying to blend into water or they're trying to blend in with the plants that they're living in.
And I colored the gills green. That was easy.
I think there's some color pufferfish that have other colors.
There are.
And then those other ones look like...
Well, there's some interesting. They're all different shapes. They all look like different fish.
buffalo fathead. Piranhas? That's a piranha.
Okay. There's a long face one with sharp teeth too. It's super long.
Yeah, that looks like a barracuda.
He really tried to make them look like a bunch of different fish.
Barracuda.
That's pretty.
Well, it's got a very specific light on it.
Oh yeah, I know.
They typically look like that.
Yep. They all just blend in with water.
Yeah. They either don't want to be seen coming or seen going.
Right.
It's one or the other. Predators don't want you to see them coming, and the other ones don't want you to see them going. Prey fish.
Don't have to worry about it right now. You can get back to town.
Yeah. Fatter head fish. I'm not sure what those are supposed to be. They don't look like real fish.
Yeah.
They kind of look like that puffy head clownfish thing, but it's definitely not what they are.
Well, there's no Nemos or Dories in this picture.
Well, these aren't like the typical, like the clownfish you're thinking. These are like these puffy-headed goldfish things. Unless I gotta come back and do the claws, which that's alright. I'll deal with that later. We're over now. Perfect time. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Jared, so much for coming to say hello. Appreciate you, brother. It was good to see you. So I wonder if that was okay. I gotta fix some things on all my stuff. I got a lot of work I'm supposed to be doing that I haven't been able to do it because, like I said earlier in the show, my children have all finished school for the year, and that has been super busy. Oh, I'm also working on this wizard. Oh, I'll show that off. Oh, there we go. Working on this little wizard guy. I'll show you guys that again maybe tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tuesday. It's so weird. It's hard to tell what day it is anymore. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, everybody. I'm gonna say goodbye, kidders. Be good to each other. Be good to yourself. Be good to somebody. Be good. And we'll talk tomorrow.